guys, this is just the pre-recording that I'm adding to my video, the one that you're going to check out in the next clip. I just realized two things. First of all, there was something I wanted to mention and show you all in regards to this video and the last one I posted that's titled Attack on the Self-Esteem and Psyche of the Targeted Individual. First thing I wanted to mention is that in the next clip, towards the end, I do show you two different songs that I created on my BandLab. One was shown to you as an example of my personality type. So the fact that I'm a Sigma and that does not line up with being a narcissist. And then the second song I showed you at the very end of the clip, and I was just showing you a song that I'm working on because it sounds really dope. But I think what I'm going to do is post both of those songs to my YouTube. Because listening back to the clip, I realized that both of those songs, the audio did not work. So I'm realizing now that with my recorder app, I'm not able to record audio on my BandLab. So I will post both of those videos, both of those songs after I post this video. So just check out, you can check it out, if you want to hear those songs. But you can see the lyrics of the Sigma song, so you get the point of what I'm trying to say, even if you can't hear the audio. And then the other thing I wanted to show you guys real quick was just backing up and validating what I said in my last video about the fact that I'm not one of those girls or people that walks around saying I have haters, because, me just trying to give y'all an example of how they program you into being a narcissist with their tactics. I was talking about that in the last video I posted and this one. I mentioned the fact that it almost seems like hating, and I was just, clearly saying that I'm not the kind of person to walk around and say I have haters, but I am aware of the fact that in my full story, when I was talking about my past, and that relationship or friendship that I had with my roommate in my early 20s, I was talking about the fact that I thought she was envious of me. And my sister noticed that as well. I had other people in my close circle that realized that were witnesses to what was going on. So it wasn't just me, coming up with that theory. And aside from that situation with that friend, and I never called her a hater, by the way, I just said I felt like she was envious of me. But aside from that situation with that friend, I've never had an issue where I felt like somebody was envious of me. And I've had other friendships since that friendship and friendships before her where I didn't feel like they were envious of me. And one of the friendships I wanted to show you all was my friend Jasmine. I mentioned her in my story. She was one of the people that worked with me at the Walmart when I was in my early 20s, and she was the reason why I was able to realize that the asset protection man was indeed following me from register to register. And to know what I'm talking about, guys, you got to check out, one of my story videos, either my summary, my full story video, or my commentating over a clip. Sorry about that. Somebody came home and was on the porch. But like I was saying, or my commentating over a clip. I mentioned both of these videos in the next clip more thoroughly. My commentating over a clip of how I became targeted, which is basically just a recording that I took from my full story. Just the part specifically talking about what started my targeting. But in all three of those videos, I mentioned the Walmart incident from my early 20s. That's where I met my friend Jasmine, and she and I became friends after the roommate situation. And she and I were friends for a good few years. We're still friends now, but we're not in communication, at least not regularly. She just wrote me before my targeting went viral, before I tried to leave Island. In 2021, she was writing me and telling me she was thinking about coming down here to the Virgin Islands to visit. And she was asking me, about the things that we have on Island. And, we were in communication about that. So throughout the year, she and I have communicated, but not like how you are with a real friend, and that's my fault because of my Sigma personality. That's a friendship that I could have maintained better. And it's not that I'm a bad person, y'all. I'm just not the kind that likes to talk on the phone. I typically stay to myself. So if I leave a location where you live, that friendship might dwindle away because of me. Because I remember when I left Tallahassee, she did reach out. She used to call me and check on me, and I wasn't really reciprocating, and not in that way. I did sometimes call back, but it's just I'm such an introverted person. It would seem like, not a good friend. It's not that. She and I were good friends, really good friends. That's why we're still in communication now, like I said. But it's just I'm not your typical girl, and so this is why I haven't really maintained friendships throughout the years. I more so, you can say, maintain acquaintanceships. So it's almost like that level now. She and I are kind of like acquaintances rather than friends anymore. But I still would call her a friend. It's just not like your typical friendship, somebody that you really, like a girlfriend that you call all the time. But then even just this year, when I got back to Island after my targeting went viral, when I had deleted my Facebook's reactivated now. My older sister told me she was reaching out to her, asking her about me because she still wanted to come down and visit. Of course, now that I'm targeted, I wouldn't feel comfortable with that happening with everything that's going on right now. But that's just to tell you our relationship is still good. She just liked my picture I posted the other day. So she and I are still cool, but just not, on the level of friendship that it could be because of the type of personality I have. And then now the circumstances that I'm dealing with. But I still wanted to show y'all, this is a normal chick, a confident chick, an attractive chick, right? And I didn't feel like she was hating on me or like she was jealous of me because she was confident in who she was and I was confident in who I was. And so there was never that type of friction between she and I. And also, too, she was similar to me. Not really in the Sigma way. She's actually very gregarious and outgoing. And I told y'all, typically those are the type of friends I make, by the way. Usually the friends that I make are people that are very outgoing because they usually approach me. And then the friendship ensues, and they're so outgoing that they make me feel comfortable. And then that's how the friendship evolves, right? So these are typically the type of friends I make. But when I say she's like me, I meant to say she's very down to earth. And although she's attractive, she's not like a girly girl, like she's not, I wouldn't say a tomboy. I'm like a tomboy, kind of, tomboy-ish. She's not a tomboy, but still not like your typical, like, how sometimes girls can be catty? Like, she wasn't like that. And this is what I really liked about her, and this is why that friendship worked. And this is why we're still cool now. I want to show y'all a picture of her. So y'all can understand that when I said the hater thing about my roommate, I didn't even say hater. I didn't say she was a hater. That's not what I said. But I said I felt like she was envious of me. I want you to understand I truly felt that way, and my sister did too. And it wasn't anything to do with anything other than her actions. I've been friends with females that are confident in themselves. That friendship with Jasmine happened after the roommate. And there were no issues. There was no feeling of hating and like somebody's hating on someone. She and I were good, right? So I want to show y'all a picture of her. This is my friend Jasmine. I actually showed this picture in my video, the commentating over a clip. And you see how old this was, right? You see what it says? Got turned up for my 22nd birthday. I'm 31 now, y'all. So this was years ago. But this is just so you can see, this is from that video that I posted on my YouTube with the thumbnail of my niece and I that says memories from my early 20s. Right? And then this is a picture of her now. And I'm friends with her on Facebook. Literally, like I said, she just contacted my sister this year because she wanted to come down and visit. But I don't feel comfortable with everything that's happening now. That's just, there'll be a hot mess with me being targeted and everything. But yeah, this was my friend after the roommate, and I never had any issues within this friendship. So it's not a me thing. And again, let me repeat and reiterate. Let me take her picture off the screen because I don't want to, give me permission to use her picture. But I'm just, trying to give y'all a clear example that I don't have the issue. With my roommate, she was having issues before she moved up by me. She had been in 3 other places where things hadn't worked out. And she was even telling me about issues she was having here on island, at the school, the university here on this island with people that she was going to school with. So it was not a me thing in that situation. So now that I'm targeted and I'm having issues with many people, of course, with their shadow networking, they would try to paint it like I'm the common denominator, and that's not the case. Anyways, that's all I want to say, guys. This is just a pre-recording to my video. So just, check out the next clip, giving good information in that video, talking about how they throw this narcissist moniker on targets, and it's gaslighting because they're programming you into being a narcissist with the tactics that they use. All right, I'll talk to you on the next one. Peace out. Dang, that was long.
At the first landing, they stopped and kissed. Kiss. She was...
Y'all, even wanted to take it a step further and show you the messages between Jasmine and I. Like I said, the last time she and I spoke, at least via messaging, was in 2021, before I relocated off island and before my targeting went viral. But I wanted to show y'all an example of what I mean when I say my friendships don't last because of me and my introverted personality and my lack of reciprocity. And that's not because I'm a bad person, it's just because I'm extremely introverted. And so, like I said in the prior clip, or not the prior clip, the prior clip, the prior clip, because I'm going to add this after that first clip that I did. But like I said in the prior clip, if I'm not living in the same area with you and like seeing you face to face constantly, then typically the friendship might dwindle because I'm not reciprocating, reaching out. And it's not because I don't care. It's not that. I can't even really explain it. I'm just so introverted. and my communication skills suck. I'm terrible with communication, but I really did, I really did enjoy that friendship with Jasmine because she was a good friend. And I've had many friendships throughout the years with people that were good people. And the friendships just didn't last because of my lack of reciprocity. But again, I reiterate with the roommate, that wasn't the situation. She literally had issues going on. And that was why that friendship went awry. And it wasn't even just a friendship dwindling away thing. It was literally like this toxic type of thing that started happening with the roommate. And I want to show y'all the messages with Jasmine. So you can see what I mean when I say I lack reciprocity. Because she was always the one reaching out to me first. And that's, let me not, I'm not trying to pause on these messages here. I have quite a few in here. Also, you can even see my friend. I don't want to click on him, but I don't want you to see the name, but just so you can understand, that's and this is so, I know this is so weird to say, but I'm just saying, it sounds like one of those prejudiced people that said, I had a friend over for dinner, but I literally, like, this is my childhood best friend. She was Caucasian. She wrote me in 2021 as well, and we had a nice little conversation in my inbox. She was my best friend, my childhood best friend. Anyway, I went down too far. So y'all can see, right? This conversation that she and I had. She wrote me first, June 16, 2021. She said, beautiful about a picture. So I said, thanks, sis, kiss. She said, hey, hon, how are you doing? Where do you reside at now? I said, I'm good. What's up, sis? I moved back home to the Virgin Islands. Where are you? Because this was shortly after I had moved home. Remember, y'all, I was in Florida for a few years, finishing school. And then when I graduated in 2020 was when I came back home and I started teaching. So I told her, I moved back home to the VI. Where are you? She said, how you like living there? And nothing much, just living and working. I'm back in Tallahassee. I said, I loved it. I missed home, so I came back. I said, I miss Tally too, though. I'm planning a visit soon. She said, I want to come visit the Virgin Islands. How is it living there? If you do come visit, let me know so we can hang out. I'm sorry, guys. I started hearing the hum in my ear really loud. I don't know why they're doing that. Anyway, so I said it's nice. You would like it. I have to be honest, it's a lot slower than the States, but it's beautiful and relaxed. You can see this is a very normal, communicative friendship, right? Amicable friendship. So I said, you should come visit for real. My sisters were just down here for a month, and we had a lot of fun. I will definitely link you if I come up. She said, where your older sister Makita stay at now? She didn't spell it right, but it's Makita. But she used to hang out with my sis and I. Like, Makita used to hang out with us. And then she said, I'm really thinking about it. I love being around water. And I said, she lives in Florida with her hubby. And I said, I love water too. The beaches down here are really nice and the water is super clear. So then that conversation ended. She wrote me again. You can see all the way, now this is months later, December, the day after my birthday when I turned 30. She said, hey, hon, how was your birthday? And I'm not going to read the whole conversation, right? It wasn't much more, we just had a little bit more conversation. And again, she was talking about thinking about coming again. You see, she wrote me again thinking about coming down here. So that was the conversation, But again, you can see that she reached out first both times. And this is how it's been throughout the years with that friendship. And this is why the friendship didn't, I don't want to say it obviously you can see we're still in communication, but this is why it didn't last like a real friendship, because of my personality. And it's not me being a bad person, it's just that I'm like really introverted. And so again, I reiterate, if I'm not living in the same area with you and you're not the kind of person that's gonna not to say not be understanding, because obviously she's understanding, she already knows how I am. She's extremely extroverted and she knows I'm an introvert, so this is why she doesn't mind being the one to reach out first. But eventually sometimes a person will get tired of being the one to have to always reach out, and I understand that. So I'm never upset when things dwindle off in a friendship, because I know how I am. But typically any friendship that I had in the past that lasted, it was people that knew how I was and they just knew that they would be reaching out first. So I just want to show y'all that, though, so you can understand what I mean when I say I'm like literally introverted and a Sigma. And it's not that I'm a bad person. It's not that nothing like that. It's literally just that I'm so introverted because of my Asperger's, ADD, etc., that a lot of my friendships haven't lasted throughout the years because of me. But with the roommate, again, I reiterate, that wasn't just a friendship not lasting because of lack of reciprocity. That was a toxic friendship because the roommate had issues. And I probably wasn't the best person to be around with the issues she had because of the personality that I have. Not to say I'm not a caring person, not to say I'm not a sympathetic or empathetic person, because I am, but I think I'm not open enough to help somebody like that that's having as many issues as she was having. I don't think I'm open enough to help somebody like that navigate through problems. I just don't. Especially not back then when I was immature, you know? So that's what was going on with that. Anyways, talk to you on the next one. Peace out. Hello, hello. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Sharifa, and my music name is New Lily. If you're new to my channel, please check out my How I Became a Targeted Individual summary or full story. And both of those links will be in the description box and the comment section. There's also a third video that I created a couple of weeks ago where I pulled a clip from my full story, the part specifically talking about what started my targeting, and I did a commentary over that. So the link to that video will be in the description box as well. If you're not going to watch the full story, I would recommend you watch that video that I just referenced over the summary, because they're about the same length. But the commentating over a clip video has a few more details included. Plus, you get to see me on camera. So like I said, welcome back, guys. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. This is not going to be a long video, guys. I just wanted to show y'all an example of shadow networking and soft warfare. So I've talked about that in several of my videos. And when I first started talking about that was in my, let me scroll down to that video. Part 1, pertinent information about the targeted individual program. And in the thumbnail, you can see me in the burgundy shirt. In that video, I was basically just, again, talking about a topic I've been talking about for the last few months. How when you're targeted, they are able to use some sort of AI generator to hack all of your social media, all of your technological devices, and manipulate it. So basically, for instance, on your YouTube, you know how you have recommended videos that are sent to you? And typically it's an algorithm. So the things that they'll recommend will be things related to the videos that you typically watch. But with the shadow networking AI software that they use, they're able to send you videos in your recommended with stimuli in it to sensitize you. And so I didn't know that's what it was called. You know, for months I've been talking about it. For those of you that have been following me, you know what I'm talking about. I used to call it targeting through the TV. And I was not aware of the fact that it was called shadow networking and soft warfare. I didn't even know it was a thing. I mean, I knew, you know, like I had kind of figured out that that's what was going on, that they had the technology to do that. But I didn't have concrete evidence to prove that that was what was happening. And then I went on a few other targets pages, such as Truth Hurts Hypocrisy America's page, and I noticed that he was talking about the same thing, how they were targeting him through the TV. And so what I realized was that this was some sort of tactic that they used, but I didn't know what the terminology was. I didn't know what it was called. And so then on Michael Barden's page, I was able to find a video where he was specifically naming out the tactic used to target you through the TV. And it's called shadow networking, or shadow network, and soft warfare. And Michael Barden is a former military agent. You can kind of say he's like a whistleblower because he's targeted now too. And so basically he's familiar with all of those different softwares and tactics that are used. So I learned a lot of information from his page. But I've been talking about that, you know, for months, guys, the targeting through the TV. And then just recently, about 2 months ago, when I posted this pertinent information about the targeted individual program, and that video was where I talked about specifically what the name of that tactic and technology is called. And so I've since that video, been just posting different videos with evidence and documentation about tactics used in the program, you know, different things I've experienced. And in several of my videos since that one, I've talked about targeting through the TV. So today I just kind of wanted to show y'all an example of what they do. You know, I just recently, with the shadow networking, like show y'all what that looks like. And I've done that in prior videos that got deleted, so I'm glad to be doing that again here in this video. But before I do that, I don't know if y'all are hearing the ref campaign when I said videos that got deleted. There was a super loud ref campaign in the background. I don't know if the video picked up on it. And if you want to know what I'm talking about when I say that, you can check out my update video. I'm not going to go into the details about it again right now, guys. I've done it in too many videos. For those of you that keep up with my videos, I know it's irritating to hear me redundantly repeat the same things over and over again. But if you check out the update video with the thumbnail that has the update button, you can hear the information about how my prior videos where I was actually on camera got deleted, and why most of my videos now are off camera, with the exception of my full story, how I became a targeted individual. And like I said, y'all, I am trying to come with once I get access to a camera, I said I might even just use my phone. I am trying to come with a workout video on camera where you guys can see, what I'm looking like right now. I've been working out for 3 months, said this already, in my recent videos. Let y'all see what I'm looking like, and then come back a few months later, most I spares my life, and then let y'all see what I look like again. So I am trying to come with another video on camera for you guys. I'm working on that. Anyways, this video, y'all, like I said, is me just kind of showing y'all an example of how they do the shadow networking and send videos to sensitize me. And then not only that, disproving and refuting what they were trying, the stimuli that they were trying to send to me. So first of all, if you checked out my last video, Attack on the Self-Esteem and Psyche of the Targeted Individual, you'll hear me talking about how they basically, one of the tactics that they use in this program is to try and attack your self-esteem. So they will taunt and tease and, send stimuli to not only insult you, but also just make you feel low on yourself, make you question yourself. They could really break down a person if you're not strong enough, and I don't even want to say not strong enough. If you're not aware of what's happening, they could break you down. And that's literally a tactic used. They have several tactics that they use in the program. It's psychological warfare. And one of those tactics is to come for your self-esteem. So please check out that video and you'll hear me talking about that. And in that video, I even mentioned the fact that one of the terms that they like to use on targets, because they have different terms that they use and different things they sensitize you to that's specific to your targeting. But then they also have universal things that they use and universal words and phrases that they use on all targets. And from research, one thing that I realized that they universally use on all targets, so not just specifically in my targeting case, is the word narcissist. They like to throw that word at targets. And so in that last video that I just referenced, the Attack on the Self-Esteem and Psyche of the Targeted Individual video, I talk about how this program is designed to make you into a narcissist. They're programming you into being a narcissist with the things that they're doing, with the covert harassment, with the attention that they're giving you, the length and extent that they go to covertly harass you. It's an enormous amount of attention. It's almost flattering. If it weren't so annoying, it would be flattering. But the amount of attention they're giving you, and then the things that they do to tear you down, and then, these are all things that program you into being a narcissist. Because naturally, if you're a strong-willed or strong-minded person, you're going to fight against or push back against what they're doing. So if they're trying to tear you down and come for your self-esteem, then of course you're going to try to act confident. You might even act cocky. You might, cross over from the realm of confident into cocky, because you're going to be like, okay, they're hating on me. Why are they coming for this? I know I look no good right now, and you're trying to, send us, for instance, a song on the radio talking about the fact that I only look good with my makeup on. That's just an example. I talked about this in my last video. But just an example of some of the things that they do, some of the things they do to lower your self-esteem, or specifically in my case, just that's an example, because they also target you through the radio, y'all. And I know that sounds crazy, but this is an all-inclusive program. So typically when you're targeted, everyone is involved. So this is why when you get in the car, you'll hear the radio even having songs that seems to, have subliminal messaging in it. So you'll start to question yourself and think you're crazy, and now understand that this is a well-crafted government program. So everyone is involved. It's all inclusive. All the major corporations are involved, including the radio stations. So this is why when you get in the car and you start hearing songs with stimuli in it, you're going to be like, no way. There's no way that the radio stations are involved too. There's no way that I'm seeing videos on YouTube that's sensitizing me. I got to be crazy. I got to be schizophrenic. And if you don't understand the tactics used and that this is a well-crafted, again, program, you would think you were crazy. So check out my prior videos, y'all. I provide evidence, documentation, to back up the things I'm saying, to prove and validate, the targeted individual experience. Because one of the main things that's used in this program is gaslighting. So that's why it's important and pertinent that you provide evidence and documentation to back up the things you're saying so that you can't be gaslit. So I have a plethora of videos with evidence, guys. Y'all can check out my evidence of mind control technology used on targeted individuals video. You can check out my pertinent information about the targeted individual program video. You can check out my part 3 gaslighting and programming of the targeted individual video. You can check out my irrefutable proof that gang stalking is real video. There's a plethora of information on my channel, and so many different videos where I've provided documentation and evidence, videos, to prove and validify your experience as a targeted individual so that you can't be gaslit. Anyway, so I just wanted to show y'all an example of them shadow networking me, of them targeting me through the videos, subliminal messaging. They sent me this video, right? And it's such a coincidence too, because I had just literally in my last video talked about the fact that they send me things about being a narcissist. So they sent me this video, and I also talked about the fact that, you know, one of the things that they keep trying to insinuate is that I'm using a fake voice, like basically and also too that I'm trying to have like this fake sex appeal, like this manufactured sex appeal is what they're throwing at me. Like when I'm looking for movies, basically on, let me give you an example, like the movie website I like to go on, Los Movies. They're sending me movies, you know, basically a lot of the movies they're sending me is about women that are being seductress, you know, like this type of, like, I keep saying it, they keep trying to paint me like I'm sorry, I'm hearing noise in the background. They keep trying to paint me like I'm this man-eating, I'm losing my train of thought. The ref campaign confused me. Oh my God, there was a word I was looking for, and now I just completely lost my train of thought. But basically just trying to paint it like I'm this, you know, Jezebel type spirit that's like trying to be like this seductress like thing, you know, and like making it seem like this kind of way like that, you know. They even sent a video or a movie called Sex Appeal, and they showed this girl in the lab with a bunch of like lab test tubes, you know, like she was throwing together her sex appeal. Like, you know, this is crazy what they're doing. And it's such a compliment too, because I'm like, okay, so all of the things that you're coming for are things that I know that bothers you about me, things that you see that that are good about me that you're trying to tear down. I talked about this in my last video, guys. So you come in for my voice and trying to say I'm using a fake voice, because that's something they keep doing too. They keep sending videos about people using fake voices or manufactured voices, as well as coming for my music, of course. Just coming for everything about me. My sex appeal, saying my sex appeal is manufactured. You know, this kind of way, like they're coming for it. Like, I'm just like, okay, so obviously you think I look good when I leave the house. This is why you felt the need to tell me that I only look good with makeup on. You think I have a sexy voice. Obviously, it's bothering you or it's seducing you, whatever the problem is. Sorry, not sorry. You think I have sex appeal. Thank you. I appreciate it. You know, these are the things that that's bothering you. Okay, well, it's not my fault. You know, close your eyes or close your ears, or better yet, leave me alone. And then you won't have to be bombarded with my sex appeal and my wonderfulness. So anyways, and yes, now I'm acting like a narcissist, and yes, I'm sounding like a narcissist because I know what they're doing, and I know what the tactic is, and I know that it's designed to tear down an individual and make you feel low on yourself. And so no, that's not going to work. And this is why I keep saying the program is designed to program you into being a narcissist, because naturally your reaction to somebody acting like a hater or, you know, trying to tear you down, your reaction is to act like you're confident about those things. And also, if you're smart, realize that those are things that are good about you, and that's why they're coming for it in the first place. So you're building me into a narcissist, and then you're giving me all of this attention. I mean, of course, then I'm going to act like a narcissist. That's how the program is designed. It's like programming you and gaslighting you into being a narcissist, and not even a true narcissist, because my personality doesn't even line up with what a narcissist is. And that's the other part I wanted to show y'all and refute that. Right, but before I refute that, let me just show y'all the stupidness they sent me. And I'm not even going to play the whole video, guys. I'm really not. I didn't even watch the whole video. You can see where I stopped watching it. But you see what it says? The narcissist tone. How to spot the hidden signs of someone is a narcissist. And that was in my newsfeed, right? And first of all, the word hidden, just so you know, is also something they try to sensitize me to. They're constantly throwing stuff about secrets, hiding stuff. things of that nature, like I'm hiding stuff and I have secrets and stuff in the closet, and coming from my sexuality, not only trying to say like I have this manufactured sex appeal, but then also trying to make it like I mistreat men and that I'm on the DL, I'm like some sort of closeted lesbian. Like, this is what they try to paint it as. It's just a bunch of false, lying, flagrant, as they said in their video, flagrant lies and rumors, and they're using their shadow networking software to social engineer these false narratives. So I'm going to show you the video from Michael Barden where he talks about this technology. The video that I shared in my pertinent information video, I'm going to show y'all that clip. But first I want to show you, actually let me show you that first. Before I show you the video that they sent me and show you an example of them shadow networking, let me show you that part of my pertinent information video where I shared the clip from Michael Barden. Or when they're manipulating your social media and sending you all these videos with stimuli in it to paint a false narrative or whatever they're trying to do, basically that is called, it's two things, right? So they're using shadow networking to do it. This is a software program, AI program that they have. It's called shadow networking. And then what they're doing to paint a false narrative, right, to warp the target's view and reality is called soft warfare. So I'm going to go ahead and share the video with you.
Names that would be good for you to research. Gotta be quick here. So the first one, Private Berge, Patrick Berge, created for the Department of Defense.
Sorry guys, I was trying to turn my... Sorry guys, I was trying to turn my fan off. Let me go ahead and play it now. And all now as I speak, I'm hearing the hum. There's this video I saw that was talking about the percentage of the population that can hear the hum, which are targeted individuals because we're microchipped or whatever. They're doing V2K with that. They start to do the hum at certain points, so I'm hearing the hum right now. But I'm going to continue to play.
Individual soldiers and citizen journalists. I have three names that would be good for you to research. Gotta be quick here. So the first one, Private Berge, Patrick Berge, created for the Department of Defense a program called ShadowNet. You might have heard it called Obama ShadowNet, artificial intelligence to social engineer through social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, whatever. You see weird things happening in your social media. That alternative weapon that was created to be used in warfare against other countries, enemies, not allies, looks like it's being used against us.
Yeah, I hope you heard when he said warfare, heard the motorbike, right? That person's probably microchipped. There's this like bald-headed dude in this neighborhood. Let me not get nasty with my words, because I did learn my lesson. I definitely did about reacting. I know what they do, right? Because of course that's going to be annoying, him doing that, right? So of course my reaction would be to say something nasty in response, human reaction, and they would take the moment of me saying that and paint me like a bitch. So I'm going to stop myself, right? But just hear the noise campaign. You heard the ref campaign. I hope the video picked up, and I'm not sure if it did, when he said that it's supposed to be used in warfare. No, it's not supposed to be used against innocent civilians that hurt your feelings that you don't like. It's supposed to be used in actual warfare against people that are trying to take down the nation. That's what it's supposed to be used against, not against innocent civilians that hurt your feelings. But let me go ahead and continue to play the video.
Looks like it's being used against us. Okay, the second name, Chuck DeCaro, D-E-C-A-R-O. I worked trained personally with Chuck DeCaro on something called software, S-O-F-T-W-A-R. And that is using multimedia applications to manipulate the enemy's perception of reality. Photo, video, broadcast journalism, you've heard the term fake news. Creating narratives to keep...
Okay, hone in on what he said, creating narratives. So remember, when you become a target, it's a big-ass smear campaign. And I'm sure if you're targeted, you know what I'm talking about. I don't have to tell you, right? Especially those of you that are in the third category, right? Where you're just randomly selected for this program. They will stop at nothing to go ahead and go through full throttle with this experimentation. And so they'll paint whatever narrative they have to of you. And so for me, literally what he just said, how they use the soft warfare to social engineer and paint false narratives, that has been the theme of my targeting. And this is where the other video I'm about to share with Lornetta ties into this one. Because in that video that I'm about to share with her, she's going to be talking about how this is literally a computer simulation. Because everything is technology at this point, so that's what she means, right? And so everything that you feed the simulation is what will be fed back to you. So they're already trying to paint a false narrative of you and warp your view and your reality, right? And so if you feed the program anything, they will use whatever you feed it to create whatever false narrative they want to create. And so I'll give you an example. When I was in the States and my targeting went viral, when I was in Florida, I talked about the fact that I was having some major anxiety reactions because I kept seeing they were using this shadow networking that Michael just mentioned a little while ago, where they're able to manipulate and social engineer your social media, right, to create the false narrative. They were doing that to me and I didn't know that. I didn't even know I was a target. That was before I got back to Island. So every minute they were sending me things about lust and predators and this and that and angels watching. By angels, they probably mean fallen angels, not the real angels, right? And so I remembered I kept having these reactions because anytime they would send that, in the background people would be zooming by, like from, every minute. And it was like so many vehicles, so many. You know how Florida is. It was so many of them zooming by, right? And coming in by my car too, and throwing stuff on my roof. So you can imagine the type of reactions I was having in that vehicle. Anytime those things would come in and I know they're watching me, I hadn't even learned about the insect drones yet. I just knew my car was bugging somehow. They were seeing me, right? So anytime that would come on, I would start to breathe funny. I would have this anxious, and check out my PTSD video. Remember, y'all, I told y'all, one thing about me is I use my wit. I create a video about every tactic that they use in this program. Check out my PTSD video, right? I very clearly explain what they use and how it can cause an anxious reaction that is not indicative of anything but PTSD, right? So check out my video. Let me show y'all that video real quick. I don't want to go off on a tangent. I don't want to lose where I'm at with what I'm talking about, but let me just quickly show y'all that. So if you haven't checked it out already, please check out my targeted. So I'm going to stop it here. Check that video out though. I'm giving good information in that video, right? But you heard the tactic, right? Michael Barton talked about it. So they're basically using this software AI generator to manipulate your social media. So for instance, in your recommended, every video you click on is going to have stimuli in it to sensitize you. So I guess they're putting keywords into the generator to pull up videos that have the stimuli in it. And not only that, from what I'm kind of realizing, I don't have concrete evidence to prove what I'm about to say, but I'm under the impression that they're actually inserting fake stuff into your videos. So I think they can actually change videos that already exist. From what I've seen, and I even saw this on Truth Hurts Hypocrisy America's page, another target, it seems like they can do that as well. But that's something I'm working on and I'm doing research on. I'm not going to concretely say that. But for sure they can send you videos with stimuli in it, purposely, like use an AI generator, hack your social media like your YouTube, and send you videos that have stimuli to sensitize you in it. So it's really scary, guys. Anyway, so check that video out. It has a lot of good information in it. But let me go back now over here to show you guys the video that they sent me earlier. Shadow networking. This is an example of what I'm talking about, where I say they send you videos in your recommended with stimuli to sensitize you. And paint false narratives. Flagrantly false lies. Trying to paint false narratives about me being a flagrant liar when they're the ones coming up with all these flagrant lies. For example, the flagrant lie that they came up. Sorry guys, somebody came home and was on the porch, so I had to pause the video. But anyways, for example, and I talked about this in my last video, the flagrant lie that they told in order to flag my video and take it down. My agenda video, check out my agenda video, y'all. You can see that I had to record the video when I was able to review it. So basically they took the video down for a flagrantly false reason, right? They said that I was posting false information about vaccines. I didn't mention anything about a vaccine. They just wanted to take my video down because I was coming with a bunch of good information as usual, right? And they took the video down for that reason. And of course, I appealed it and was able to get my video back. But I took the initial video down and I just kept up that one, that agenda video. And in that one, you can see that it's not the initial video. What it is that I was able to review my initial video and I did a recording of the video. So that's what's going on with that video. But that was a flagrant lie that they created, right? To take my video down, to strike my video down, and I fought back and got my video back. This is what they do. They're coming up with flagrant lies. Flagrant, that's a perfect word to use. That's the perfect way to describe it. I love that adjective, flagrant. It's a flagrant lie, many, that they come with to paint these false narratives and then project what they're doing on me. It's crazy and it's hypocritical. So anyways, let me go ahead and play. Like I said, I'm not going to play this whole video, but I'm going to play some of it.
That you will encounter, which makes them even more dangerous because they don't stand out in an obvious way. There are people in this world looking to take advantage of others. Whether they are classified as narcissistic, sociopathic, compulsive, or pathological liars, they operate differently from most people that you will encounter, which makes them even more dangerous because they don't stand out in an obvious way. So in this video, you're going to learn how to detect some of those types, and we will be taking Elizabeth Holmes as our primary example. She was able to raise nearly $1 billion for her company Theranos, which promised to run full blood scans off just a few drops of blood from your finger. This, of course, would have been a revolution in the medical industry if it were real. Behind the scenes, Elizabeth and her boyfriend Sonny were hiding the fact that these tests did not and never worked. They defrauded investors and over 1 million people who got those Theranos tests expecting accurate readings, which of course was impossible. Now, unfortunately, Elizabeth Holmes is not totally unique. The NIH reports that 6.2% of the U.S. has narcissistic personality disorder, and Dr. Paul Ekman says that no more than 5% of people are pathological liars. That's still potentially 1 in 20 people. That's why in this video we're going to explore how you can detect these dangerous personalities before they take advantage, since you're probably going to encounter some of them in your life. And I'm not trying to label them exactly, but they often exhibit behaviors that are consistent with narcissistic personality disorder. So first off, a large motivator for these types of personalities is having the world view them in a way that strokes their ego. They are hyper-driven to maintain the persona that they have constructed.
Now let me tell you how that's gaslighting. Now, what I just talked about, guys, right? Remember my prior video attacking the self-esteem and the psyche of the targeted individual? One of the main tactics that they use, as I mentioned, is to tear... I'm sorry, I heard noise outside my door. One of the main tactics that they use is to come for your self-esteem, is to tear you down. This is why I said they're programming you to be a narcissist. So this is gaslighting. So they're doing things to tear you down. For instance, let me give you an example. One of the main things I've talked about, me going in the car looking nice, right? And I don't put on much makeup, y'all. I put on lipstick and I shade my eyebrows in. I don't put on foundation, nothing like that. But I sit in the car and I'm looking nice, and then the radio plays a song, several songs back to back, about girls that look good without makeup on, basically insinuating that I need my makeup to look good. Now, first of all, obviously you thought I looked good when I sat in that vehicle. That's why you felt the need to put that on in the first place. So you didn't gaslight me and you weren't able to successfully tear me down. Instead, you bigged up my ego. But that's, again, you pushing me into being a narcissist. Because naturally, even if I did feel bad about what they did, that's going to make me now try to fix my image. Because I'm going to start to feel insecure about my looks because you came for me in that way. And so I'm going to now try and fix my looks and be obsessed with my image. Luckily for me, I'm a confident person, and it was more so of an ego boost than anything else. But even still in that way, that's also programming me to be a narcissist because you bigged up my head and let me know that you thought I was looking good when I sat in that vehicle. So you're doing these different tactics to try to lower my self-esteem. And of course will now make me insecure and want to fix and perfect myself and want to shape up my image. That's the tactics you're using with this program. And then you're going to throw me a video talking about narcissism. And one of the symptoms is they want to keep a perfect image. When you're literally coming for a target's image 24/7 nonstop. And you know that the natural human response would be to now try and fix yourself, right? Because you feel like people are coming for your image. So this is programming and it's gaslighting. Anyways, let me continue with the video.
So keep an eye out for people with an intense focus on their image. For example, Elizabeth Holmes wanted to be the female Steve Jobs, so she wore black turtlenecks.
I don't mean to pause this again, guys. I'm not going to keep doing that. I'm only playing 3 minutes of it anyways, but I need to break it down for y'all to show y'all how they're shadow networking me. That's also stimuli. Remember I'm into the coding and the tech? Check out my videos. Those of y'all that have been following me, you know what I'm talking about. I've been talking about the tech, right? I have several videos about getting into tech. Even in that last video, I was talking about it. In my last video, Attack on the Self-Esteem and Psyche of the Target. Right? I have several videos where I'm talking about tech. You can see these two videos. The video with me, the thumbnail with me in my graduation outfit, information and resources to start a tech career, update on my journey to becoming a developer. I even have a video where I was displaying my portfolio for you all, my junior developer portfolio. You know, just check out my last video, my Attack on the Self-Esteem of the Psyche of the Target. I talked a lot about my tech journey, right? But so what are the odds that the person that they're examining in this video of being the narcissist happens to be in the tech career field? I mean, come on, it's shadow networking to the freaking T.
In his live demo slow review of her product and hired a bunch of ex-Apple employees at the beginning of her company. Now, of course, lots of people have idols that they emulate, but a major tip-off that you're dealing with a dangerous personality is that in an attempt to maintain their persona, they will lie about seemingly ridiculous things. Maybe they tell fantastic stories about their own life that never happened, like the Fire Festival co-founder who insisted that he had purchased an island owned by Pablo Escobar when in fact they were actually kicked off of that island by the real owner for even minutes.
Now let me tell you how they're coming for me, guys. Y'all know I've told my whole story, right? From the early ages of 21 up until now, age 31. I've told a lot of stories, but not one of them have been lies. And that's what the problem is why I keep getting backlash, because I keep being told or hinted at that I'm talking too much or I'm exposing too much. And I've said in several videos that I've never been that type of person. My grandma, who's from Trinidad, well, she's my late grandma, rest in peace, she's no longer living. When she was alive, she used to say that I was a secret order. That's just terminology they use in Trinidad. But that just means you're such a private person that nobody really knows what's going on with you. That's typical me, right? It takes forever for me to open up, and I only open up to people I really, really trust, those in my close circle. Now I'm like an open book because I'm being forced to be that way. They're freaking invading my privacy, right? Invading my space, painting these false narratives. And so that's when I became the open book that I became. I've been targeted since 2020, y'all. I didn't start making videos until the end of last year when I got back from the States. I tried to relocate off island. Y'all gotta check out my prior videos. Sorry about that, y'all. Somebody knocked on my door and that made me lose my train of thought too. But basically when my God, I lost my train of thought. My God, I completely lost my train of thought. I do not like when that happens. I was telling y'all about the lies, right? About the stories, right? I only just started telling my stories and talking about what I've been through at the end of last year when I tried to relocate off this island. The targeting followed me because I didn't know I was a target. Things blew up because of the reactions I had and me not understanding how the program worked. And then when I got back and learned that I was a target, did research and figured out that I wasn't the only one experiencing this weird situation, that was when I started making videos and telling my story. And everything I've said, I've backed up with evidence and receipts, and I got backlash for that too. So this is where, again, I say it's contradictory, because one minute they're pushing videos with stimuli in it, talking about people who cause trouble and who talk too much and who, providing receipts and home records, trying to paint like I'm a home wrecker for certain things, for telling my story and certain things that I provided receipts about. And then the next minute they're trying to say I'm a liar. It's literally like contradictory. You need to pick what you're throwing at me. I even said that in my last video, my attacking of the psyche of the targeted individual. Because one minute they're painting it like I'm this man-eating hussy, and then the next minute they're painting it like I'm a lesbian, So again, pick what you're throwing at me, because you're actually starting to throw contradictory false narratives at me. You need to pick what you're rolling with, shadow networkers. Anyway, let me continue playing the video.
Mentioning Pablo Escobar's name in the promotional materials. Now, in Elizabeth's case, one ridiculous lie she told all the time was about her voice. Listen to the baritone that she affected nearly all the time.
This is what happens when you work to change things, and first they think you're crazy, then they fight you, and then all of a sudden you change the world. And
that clip is from the beginning of the interview. She is collected and prepared. But as employees later reported, that baritone would sometimes slip at the end of a long day, leaving her speaking in a fairly typical sounding voice for a young woman. And you can see the same thing occur briefly in that same interview once the questions get tougher.
Then they fight you, and then all of a sudden you change the world. San Francisco paper and Fortune, I talked about it in an interview I did with Forbes, that we made a decision to expand our test menu.
Since there's no real victim, this type of lie to promote a particular image might seem quirky and forgivable.
Okay, I'm gonna stop there, guys. I'm not gonna play any more of the garbage. I'm hearing rubbing in the back and it's irritating me. So this is what they're doing, right? You see again, and this is not the first video that they've sent me about somebody putting on a fake voice to create an image, and it's about sex appeal. Just so you understand, because like I said, when I go on the Los Movies website to look for movies, they're sending me videos about women that are Jezebel spirits or seductresses or having some sort of sex appeal that they're trying to wield to get things. This is the type of narratives that they're throwing at me constantly. And it's not my fault if you're getting seducted. That's your problem. That's not my problem. I can't help it how I am. That you, again, creating me to be a narcissist, because honestly, that's flattering if you think that. That's telling me that I'm the shit, really, because I'm not trying to have a sex appeal. So if that's what's happening, then thanks. Again, that's a compliment for me. But this is what they're doing, like trying to paint like I'm putting on a sexy voice. Obviously, my voice is seducing you, so maybe you need to cover your ears, go get your Bible and say a prayer, because it's not my fault. I'm just being me. So yeah, that's what's going on with that. And now I would sound like a narcissist, but again, you're coming for me and you're painting me into you're programming me into being a narcissist. So that's just what I wanted to show y'all, guys. I wanted to show y'all an example of how they were shadow networking me, and then I wanted to bust it down why I'm not a narcissist, right? If you check out my channel, the whole theme of my channel, although I told y'all it's not a niche channel, right? It's not a niche channel. So I'll be focusing on a plethora of different things on my channel, which I have been. I'm not just going to focus on any one thing. I'm not just focusing on the targeted individual community. I'm not just focusing on the neurodivergent community, people with ADD, Asperger's, or any mental divergence from the norm. I'm focusing on all of those things and anything that affects me in my life. And one of the things that I do talk about is the fact that I have ADD and Asperger's, and the fact that I'm extremely introverted and shy, and also the fact that I'm a Sigma female. I'm an INTJ Sigma female, which apparently is an extremely rare personality type. And I'm not saying that to sound like a narcissist, because of course I feel the need to say that now. Even though I've proven the fact that I'm not a narcissist, they're programming me into being one. And that's what they do to all targets, and then they gaslight you and say you're being narcissistic. But anyways, I'm extremely shy and introverted. I even wrote a poem recently called Sigma. I'm a Sigma female. I'm going to play that for y'all real quick, and then I'll continue. I didn't post it on YouTube, but y'all can check out my BandLab. I have another song I'm working on too. I'm likely just going to leave it on BandLab. I'm not really putting my stuff all over the place. It's just a hobby for me, doing this music thing. And really, I got so much backlash for it. I don't care. I'm going to do what I want to do, and I'm not going to let anybody stop me from living my life. That's why I still do the music. But, even before I was targeted, I wasn't taking it serious. It was a hobby that I did off and on. So I likely won't put Sigma up anywhere other than BandLab, and I likely won't put the extra song I'm working on up anywhere either besides BandLab. But listen to my Sigma song. This song describes me to a T. I'm going to open it up so you can see the lyrics while it's playing. So guys, throughout this whole part, as you can see, the song is playing, but the audio isn't working because, as I mentioned in the first clip, my BandLab seems to not work when I'm doing screen recording. So I've decided that I am going to post the Sigma song as well as the extra song that I share at the end of the video to my YouTube. So I'm going to post both of those songs after these recordings. I'm going to go ahead and fast forward through this. I'm sorry that it took so long. I was actually sitting off in the corner doing my own thing and letting this recording happen. Didn't have malicious intent. Y'all have to... I went too far ahead.
Hey, welcome to the barbershop. Be with you shortly. Take your pants.
They were shadow networking with that ad, guys. That's another thing they keep trying to throw at me is balls. Because in my full story, I mentioned that I didn't have the balls to... I forgot what I was talking about. Something I was talking about, I was saying I didn't have the balls to say something about something. I don't remember what it was. It was figurative language. And so now they're constantly sending me ads to sensitize me and be stupid and antagonize me about balls. Perverse stuff. Just constantly... you know how many balls ads I've blocked, guys? It's ridiculous. Now they're trying to be stupid.
Started this.
I'm gonna pull my hair out. And then you're like, how is it that this person actually has friends? How is it? Hey everyone, it's Dr. Romany. Okay, today's question. You're in a relationship with a narcissist. You're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna pull my hair out. And then you're like, how is it that this person actually has friends? How is it that they actually have relationships with people at work that they get... How is it that this person has friends? How is it that they have relationships with people at work, like people they get along with? So you're already confused enough? And you're like, how do people like them? Let's break that phenomenon down. Those of you new to this channel, I'm Dr. Romany, where we do the deep dive in this channel on all things narcissism and narcissistic relationships. If you're new to this channel, please subscribe. We're going to take this on. How do they have friends? So here you are. You're in a really difficult narcissistic relationship of some kind. You're exhausted, you're confused, you're ruminating, you're hurt. You're stuck in the feeling that there is no justice because the narcissistic person in your life seems to be getting away with all of their bad behavior and nobody...
Now, mind you, that already doesn't line up with me because I'm getting punished for things I didn't even do. I'm getting punished excessively. You know, I keep saying the punishment isn't fitting the crime. The level of punishment that I'm receiving for the things that I've done, and the things I've done is really just bearing false witness. Didn't have malicious intent. Y'all have to check out my story to understand what I'm talking about. I'm not gonna go... Guys, I know I'm already saying this in the video, but I feel the need I feel compelled to say this again. If I were a narcissist, I would not be in this predicament because I would have a large circle or social network. I would have people vouching for me and supporting me, and I would have been able to get away with just about anything if I were truly a narcissist. Narcissists typically have large, as the doctor or psychologist said, social circles and networks, and they can often get away with whatever the hell they want to get away with, which is why I often talk about the fact that I think what's happening to me is so unfair because I'm aware of a lot of things that's happened on this island, things way worse than anything that I ever did or said, and those people were never targeted. I'm the only person, to my knowledge, that's ever been targeted on this island. So to me, again, that's just indicative of the fact that I'm not a narcissist. I'm a Sigma female lone wolf that's kind of fending for herself. So the narcissist moniker they keep trying to throw on me is bullshit. Ah, shit. I moved from the part I was at. Sorry about that, guys. Oh my goodness. I might end up having to replay that, guys, because I think I just moved from the part that I was at by accident. So I'm not sure if this is the part where I was at, but let me see.
Well, you kind of already know the answer to this. One twisted advantage the narcissistic person has is their superficiality. Their relationships do not go deep. As a result, friendships for grandiose narcissistic people may be a numbers game. Already that doesn't line up with the Sigma. If you look at videos for Sigmas, and I can pull one up for you now, we don't have many friends, but the friends that we do have, we value and we treasure them. And it's a very long-lasting friendship. It's typically people that have been in our lives for years. We don't have superficial friendships. We're not social enough for that to be the case.
we're lone wolves, right? We're not somebody that likes to just, we don't trust like that. So we don't just befriend just about anyone. And it's not that we're bad people or we're stuck up or anything like that. It's just a personality trait. That's just how the personality is. Everybody has a different personality in this world. But Sigma people typically have a few friends and a small, close circle of people that they trust. They're not befriending just about anyone. The narcissist is the charismatic, gregarious person that's out there, social butterfly, making friends with everyone, right? And they have these little superficial, fake relationships, but they can probably call on that person for a favor. You know, a lot of people know them.
They may just have lots of people they're able to have an easy breezy good time with. I have to tell you, when I'm watching a grandiose narcissistic person work a room, I really look at them with a sense of wonder. I am an introvert and a rather socially unskilled one, so the whole thing is foreign to me. But grandiose narcissists...
Girl, me too. I'm an introvert and a rather unskilled one, so the whole thing is foreign to me too.
Are able to have short, intense interactions and then move to the next and then the next and laugh loud and hold court and ha 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 and just keep going. Which makes sense because grandiose narcissists in all of the research have been shown to be high in extroversion. So they often maintain relatively large social networks because they need them.
You hear that? All the research says that they typically are extroverts, right? And so they have large circles, social circles because they need them. I'm not going to play the rest of the video, guys. Y'all can check it out. I already refuted the nonsense, right? So it doesn't line up. It's oxymoronic to call somebody like me a narcissist. Furthermore, they're programming me into being a narcissist because, of course, I'm going to care about my self-image if you're constantly trying to tear it down, which is what's done in this program. It's a big smear campaign, and it's designed to break down an individual psychologically. So it's gaslighting. It's gaslighting when they throw the word narcissist at you. And so that's all I wanted to prove with this video. I didn't need to do too much, and I really didn't want a super long video anyway. And I really didn't even want to come out with another video before I came with that video that I said I would come with me on camera, you know, that workout video. It's still coming, y'all. If the most I experience my life, look out for it. You know, and I'm, again, as I keep saying, trying to steer away from these targeted individual videos, but they keep coming with more stuff. And I keep feeling like I have to document, but I'm not going to keep responding and being responsive. But that narcissist thing, I really did want to make a video about that because the video I had made before was one of the videos that got deleted. So that's the only reason I responded to that stimuli. Anyways, y'all, I'll talk to y'all on the next one. Peace out. The reason I said is because I did start working on a song and I wanted to let y'all hear it. Called Extra. And you know, they were doing noise campaign in the background with that too. Ridiculous. But I'm gonna let y'all hear that song. So guys, I'm gonna cut the video here because just like with Sigma, as I mentioned in the first clip, the song doesn't play. But as I said, after I post this video, I will be posting both of those songs if you want to check them out to my YouTube. So thanks for tuning in. I'll talk to y'all on the next one. Peace out.